today's session, as I told at the start, is basically going to be a double of 8. So we're going to have 16-beat loops, which we're going to learn a pattern for it. So all these days that we have learned is all about 8 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically 8 beats is what we've learned. Today we've learned a 16-beat pattern. Okay, these patterns are very useful when playing for a very slow bhajan. Like you have multiple. You got a lot of bhajans. Like the way the sequence happens in a bhajan is the first few bhajans is usually played. Usually a slow bhajans. So I'm under the impression that all of you know what is slow tempo bhajan, medium tempo bhajan, and fast tempo bhajans. Okay, so these patterns will be used for slow tempo. If anybody has any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. So slow tempo bhajans is basically bhajans which are slower by default. In the way, as the name tells, it's a slow bhajan. So these beats can be used for slow bhajans. Typically, for slow bhajans is what you have to play. So the first slow beat, the 7th pattern of the 8-beat cycle. So we're going to take double of 8. So you'll have, if you want to complete a complete loop, it's going to take 16 beats to complete. So we're going to have two 8-beat pattern to complete this the sequence of rhythmic phrase. Okay, the first one, the 7th pattern is 3D and 9 new, in the sense that 3 downstrokes and 9 upstrokes. So how do you play it? So as I've shown the diagram, I'm showing the table. You can just look at it. I've shown in the table clearly that which part of the beat you have to play downstrokes and upstrokes. Okay, so we'll start. So 1, so you're using the 1 new. So all of you should be knowing by now what is 1 new, what is 2 u, what is 1d, and what is 2d. So there are only 4 different beats or different sounds that you can produce with your hand. So there are only 2, but with your hand you can double it. So you can have 2 downstrokes and 2 different upstrokes. So this is one stroke, and this is 1 stroke in upstrokes and downstrokes. Okay. So we'll go ahead. So in Kanjira, it's more of one. This finger is more used. You have to use the finger. Please don't use thumb. Some of you have used thumb. Don't use thumb. Thumb will. It's not wrong, but you can't play more patterns. If you have more, if you want to do any variations and all those, you will not be able to use only thumb and play. You need to use this finger, the forefinger. If you see mridangam, tabla, or dholak, they use this finger more. They use this forefinger prominently. So there is a purpose, because it's one of the most controllable fingers among the 5 fingers. It's very easily controllable. So it's called as an index finger for nothing. So it's been called as an index finger. Okay, now let's go ahead. So 1D, so 1, and then you have 3, 4. So you're playing 1, then 2 gap, then 3, 4. See my hands. See my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay, stop here. Take 4 at a time. So the 4, you can 16 has got 4 4s. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, 16. Okay. So we'll take the first 4 as 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then you have the next 4 is 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how if you look at it, it'll sound, the first 8 bit will sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'll again do it slowly. So we'll take first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Again, we'll do it for full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For 8 beats, we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Better to divide. It will help you to become strong in your rhythmic sense. It will really help you. Divide this into 4 parts. Do only the 4 parts. Then combine the 4 plus 4, add 8, and then you have another 4. Make it 12, and then 16. Okay. After we'll add 4 more to this beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the last, the new 4 that we have learned, try this: 1 up, and then 1 up, u, 2 u. That is, if it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second part of the 8 beat, the two 8 beats. The first 8 beat is completed. The second part of the 8 beat, the first 4 beat: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Then again, last 4 beats will be 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Use more of your fingertips when you're playing Kanjira. Don't use, don't go like this. I'll explain. I think some of the do's and don'ts towards the end I'll tell you. But when you're playing, use more of your fingers. The fingers should be used, not your palm can be used as a supporting part to your fingers. The finger should be the dominating one. So your finger should be playing it. Your palm should support your fingers. So how do you do it? So I'm using. You can see here. Here. So you can see I'm touching this whole part. Okay, and then when playing this also, I'm ensuring that my whole hand is hitting. Not though my finger is hitting the Kanjira, but I'm using my palm also to support my finger's sound. You can see the sound, how it sounds. So we'll do it fully, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, shortcut. If you want to remember how this beat sound is, 1, 2. That's all. So make it fast, it sounds like this. You can make it very slow. For example, Jayama, Jayama, Jaya Karo Sai Ma. So you can use for any slow bhajans. You can try this. Okay. Then we'll go to the eighth one. Similar to it, but little more gaps are there. So when you go slower, when you go slower, you don't have to play for all the beats. So you should leave a lot of gaps. You have to give gaps, and play. That's when it sounds beautiful. So that's when it sounds more natural, it gives you more nice melodic rhythmic sense. It gives you the nice feel. Okay. So we'll start again. So the eighth one. Okay. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very similar to the previous one. Same. Okay. Till here it is same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7, 8 till 8 it is left gap. There is you don't have to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Okay. The first till 5 it's the same. It's replicating the previous one, previous pattern. It's replicating. Okay. Then next it changes in the second part. So second part, what you do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do very slowly, as slow as possible, as comfortable as you are. Speed is not important at this point of time. Repetition is very important. Keeping it in the loop. You should not give gap like 1, 2, 3, then stop, then 4, 6, 7. You should not do that. If you can go as slow as possible, but you should go in rhythmic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go in that speed. That's enough. There's nothing to do. You have all the time in the world to do as slow as possible. Speed will come automatically. I'm telling you. You just have to get it on the groove. Just get it. Your hands will understand. You learn how to play it, and automatically things happens. We have been gifted with such a great body by Bhagwan that we have this superb coordination. Think all your 5 fingers are different people. Your brain is a different people. He's the leader. He's trying to guide your fingers. So finger has to learn what your brain is trying to tell your fingers. So you should train them. Okay. Slowly do it. I'm sure all of you will struggle to do this, but do it as slow as possible. The slower you do, the better for you. Okay. We'll again do it. The 8th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Simple. Do it very slowly. It will be very simple to do. Okay. I'll just play how it sounds when you play fast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm doing is I'm playing the whole hand. You can do that also. That's okay. Actually, this is what is preferred, but I'm doing this by coming naturally for me. It's okay. You can do this also. You can use all the 5 fingers. I'm using all the 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This is how it sounds if you make it faster. The 9th one. Okay. 9th one is it'll slightly change. Okay. Okay. We'll do it. We'll go in 4 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll tell you what this beat is. Okay, you try to first get the groove of this. There's actually they call it as a bhajan tal or something. They mean you could have dhin din 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 tin tin. You would have heard this beat coming for bhajan tal they call it as in tabla dholak. So this is actually a pattern to replicate that sound on Kanjira. So it's little advanced. First to get this groove, then I'll tell you what next you have to do. Okay, first to get this properly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So you're playing alternates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're stopping at 7. 8, you're not playing anything. So 8, there's a gap. So you have time to come down. So come down, see, because you have 5 downstrokes in the first part of the 16 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So today I will teach you something. So you get this groove. I think I'll tell you how this beat actually has to be played now. Okay, now you can see my finger on my left hand, how I'm holding it. So my fingers are up now. So my fingers are up. So I can actually press the Kanjira. So you should be able to get this sound. See? Da, da. You can call it as dha or whatever. You can ta, ta, ta. So there's a higher pitch ta because I'm pressing this. The frequency is increased. Ta, 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 ta. You can see that. So this practice you have to get this. You have to get this pressing thing. Then only this 9th pattern will sound good. Otherwise, it will look very, very bland. It will look very, very plain and simple. Try to get this. So what next is? Okay. This is what is the pattern. This is how it sounds. If you get this down, how it sounds. To get this, I'll look at a way to teach you this properly. Get the right hand strokes proper, and try to ensure that your left hand is up. Okay, you should sound like this. If you can get this, I'll anyway share this video. But if you can get this sound like this, this is how it sounds. Try to hear and try to somehow manage this. Okay, the next is Tihai. Tihai, what is a Tihai? See, Tihai or Muktai in Carnatic music, okay, it's basically a pattern. It's a pattern of 3 parts, 3 different parts which are equal in size. Okay, a simple, I'll tell you what will be Tihai for an 8-beat cycle, simple 8-beat cycle. So think about it. You have 3 parts to 8 beats. So you can phrase in 3 different parts, and you'll have 2 gaps. So if let's say you have 3 parts, 1, 2, 3, the 3 parts. So in between you have 2 gaps incoming. So after first part, there's a gap. You either a gap or something. There are 3 parts, right? You will have 2 gaps by default. When you have 3 elements, you'll have 2 gaps in between by default. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have 5 elements. So 3 parts and 2 gaps all put together. 5 elements are there in a Tihai. So remember that a Tihai has got 5 elements in which there are 3 equal parts and 3 equal gaps. 2 equal gaps. 3 equal parts and 2 equal patterns. So the formula, the structure should be that these 3 parts should be equal in size in terms of beats that you allocate. Number of, let's 8 beat. So 1 beat or 2 beat or 3 beat. How much are you going to give for first part should be the same. The gaps will be different from these, or it can be same also. But the whole what you call the equation has to be that these 3 parts should be equal and these 2 parts should be equal. Even if all the 5 are equal also is fine. Some tal will have all the 5 equal also. For this 8 beat, let's take a simple example. 3 parts. So I'll call it as 2. I'll take 2 parts. So 8 is there, right? 8 beats are there. So I'll take 2 beats. 1, 2, and then 2 beats, and then 2 beats. So 2, 2, 2, 6. So left over 8 minus 6 is 2 left over. So I can have 1 here and 1 here. So 1 gap, 1 gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So after this pattern gets completed, it goes to the next beat cycle or loop cycle. So it's actually Tihai. So don't break your head on this. I hope you understand this. In Tihai there are 3 parts. 3 divisions are there. You will see three times it's getting repeated. Something is getting repeated 3 times. Okay. and it's got 2 gaps. So here the tihai that I've given here is for 16 beats. So what I've done is I've taken 4 2 4 2 4. So 4 4 4 parts, 12 beats, and then 2 and 2. So all put together will be 16. So 2 4 plus 2 6, again 4 plus 2 6 6 12, then 4 again. I'll tell you 4 plus 2 6. I mean 4 is a part, 2 is a gap. 4 plus 2 4 plus 2 4. Okay. Don't think about the gap in the previous elements. Tihai is more of a profound element which is played across classical music and light music. So it's across. I think you would have heard this also. We'll take this. Okay. So how do you play this? So I'm just using. You can use any pattern. I'm using the simple upstrokes and downstrokes. So downstrokes will be for the gaps, and upstrokes will be for the parts. So 1 2 3 4. Okay. Then 2 1 2. The second is I'm not playing anything. For only one I'm playing to ensure that 2 beats I'm covering with only this stroke. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, then 7 8 9 10. So again 4 I'm playing here. Then 11 12. Then again 13 14 15 16. And then you start. You can start the next like okay 2 loops. Okay. You would have heard this pattern. It's called as tihai. Again. So this is usually played towards the line ending or towards the end of bhajans. Preferably use it in such a way that it is used towards an end of a part. For example, there are bhajans which will start and again the first line gets repeated in the third line or fourth line. So Jai Jai Vaishnavi Devi Ma, Jai Jai Vaishnavi Devi Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Sai Ma again. So you can use this as a towards the end or towards the end of the bhajan, towards the end of the first speed. Usually use it towards the end. Otherwise it looks very bad. If you keep trying to experiment and playing in between and all, don't play in the start. This should never play. Should be played in the start. It should always be played towards the end. So again, we'll do this. The ending or the tihai. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, 5 6. 1 2 3 4 again 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4. You can remember like this also is fine. Play it fast, it sounds like this. So this is how it sounds. Okay. So I'm ending this